Hello, humanitarians. How is everyone? And here comes Lee, the great MC.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Nice. Yes.
How about, I was going to suggest this to Debbie while we're waiting people to come up here. How about we come up with a global humanitarian laugh? Sharon, come up here with me, please. Yes? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. He was like power laugh. Yes? Sharon. Okay. So Sharon is one of the laughter yoga teachers here in the audience. And we met Sharon through Debbie, actually. And Debbie is a laughter yoga teacher when she's not running the Global Humanitarian Summit. And why don't we open this closing ceremony with coming up with a global humanitarian laugh. And what's the principle? Can you tell us, Sharon, what is the principle behind laughter yoga, and why is joy so important for humanitarians?
Okay. Joy comes from within us, and happiness comes from outside of us. So we might be happy when we get a new car, a new house, a new swimming pool, come to the event, but then when we leave, we feel withdrawal. But we can have joy within us at all times. And laughter keeps you in the moment, present. It helps with your immune system. It has all kinds of special benefits. And we can all laugh for no reason at all.
And it's really hard to go out and blow up people when your heart is full of joy, right?
Exactly.
And we actually have another highly trained laughter yoga leader here. I'm going to ask her to come up here, Linda, who actually trains people like I myself am a laughter leader. Sharon is a laughter leader. Yes. And we learned from someone such as yourself who trains laughter leaders to go out and bring joy to people. Oh, do we have another?
Ladies, when you're speaking into the microphone, just speak normally, because it's reverberating through me.
Oh, well, thank you.
We want the joy to do that, so I'll be on that.
Speak normally.
So how about we come up with a global humanitarian laugh for the summit?
Sure. We actually have something like that will actually work.
Okay.
And it starts with you. So if you can find that little piece, actually it's International Happiness Day, so if you can find that little piece of happiness day, happy in you, what you can do is build it to joy. Enough happy will get you there. So find the happiness within you. Have you figured out where it's at yet? Go ahead, find it. It's kind of somewhere up here, heart. Okay, now breathe in, and as you exhale, just let out a Good. First, I know you have it. Okay. Now, I want you to just breathe in again, find that little happy, and let it grow. Put your hands out, too. And then extend it into the world. Try it again. And if you look at your neighbor while you're doing it, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, we don't do it too fast because then you'll be, slap your neighbor laughter. That could cause some conflicts. Oh, go ahead. Okay. So, am I on? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Well, what a weekend it has been. Is there anybody who's been here all 3 days? Wow. Wonderful. If you give your hand up if you felt like this has been well worth your time. Oh, I see some people with 2 hands up. Yes, yes, yes. There's a story about a fisherman who goes out, a young man, he goes fishing, and he goes to the river and he goes to put his line in, and he doesn't catch anything. He looks down the stream and he sees an older fisherman, and that fisherman is taking in fish over and over. And what happens is when he sees that he takes a fish, he measures it against something. If the fish is small enough, he puts it in his bucket, but the fish is too big, he throws it back into the water. So, he keeps doing this over and over. And so the younger guy's like, what's going on? Are the fish, is there some kind of size limit? Or did the fish get bad when they get bigger? So he says, I got to go down and ask. So he goes down and talks to the old fisherman, and he says, why is it that you keep throwing the bigger fish away and you keep the smaller ones? I don't understand that. And he goes, Sonny, look at this. Do you see this little ruler here? He says, yeah. He says, well, that ruler is the size of my frying pan. So if I have a fish and if he's bigger than that, I throw him back because he's too big. And if he fits there, I know he's going to fit in my frying pan. So, and generally we will get laughs from that, but in many cases, and usually, we do the same thing. Life calls for us to expand. Maybe an idea, maybe something you've heard during this summit, and it called to you, and it said, wow, I could do that. But then you say, no, that doesn't fit in my current size life. And you throw it back and ask the universe, can you send me something that fits already inside where I am? So raise your hand if you can understand that now, if you get that. So hopefully you can see now that the universe is a spiral. It's continuing to go up and out and wanting us to expand. And many times it will. It'll give us that bigger fish. And for whatever reason, because of fear, be it whatever, we will throw it back. Send me something my size. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully as you walk away from here, we all want to keep expanding. And I hope that you have been inspired in some way, shape, or fashion through these last 3 days. Because one of the things that we talked about, this was a celebration. This was a gathering of humanitarians to share, network, inspire, and be inspired. And that was part of what we wanted this to be about. So I encourage us to grow. And I know I'm in a stage of growth. In fact, I'm in the midst of a quantum leap. And I can tell you, I am uncomfortable all the time now. And that's how you're supposed to be if you're in that state of growth.
We are. It's okay to be this way.
Yeah. If you're stretching, that means you're growing, and it is uncomfortable. Yeah. And so just let that, but that's part of it. So eventually it does. You'll plateau when you get to that new phase and you get used to it, but yes. So thank you so much, and I'm going to turn it over to Debbie and let her do her part.
It's over almost. No. I was so busy last night. I didn't get my my official speech together today, but as I had written down a bunch of notes. These are my notes. This is my speech. So I'm going to kind of cobble it all together the best I can. But what this weekend was so amazing. Was one of the most amazing weekends of my life because of all of you, because of all of the things that you are doing in the world. I've been so inspired and so moved and so touched. I can't tell you, and I'll remember this weekend the rest of my life, and I hope that you guys will also. It's about leaving a legacy of love for our children. It's about inspiring our children to give back, to do good in the world. It's about knowing that when we die, that our lives have meant something. And I think that's the most important thing. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "Don't die with the music in you." So let the music in our hearts out into the world. Let us help the tunes. Let us play the tunes that our children will dance to. Let us plant the seeds of compassion, which we are planting now. Let us inspire the world with our selfless spirit of giving. And let us be the lights in the darkness, defenders of the helpless, the righters of the injustices, the givers, the caregivers, and the caretakers of the world. That's who you are. And I'm so honored and so privileged to have spent this weekend with all of you. You have inspired me in ways that I can't even tell you. You know, you are changing the world. And that's what this is all about. Together, we are changing the world for the better. So most important of all, never, 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 I'm going to be Winston Churchill, never, never, never let the music die inside you, because we need that, and our children need that. We all need that. So I thank you for everything you do in the world, sincerely. You are so amazing. You are amazing. Give yourselves a great big hand. I mean, there are so many people to thank. You know, I told Sadie I didn't really want to do this because I didn't want to leave anybody out, and I know I will. So I apologize in advance if I left anybody out. I want to thank. Is Susan here? Susan Franklin? Oh, she's not even here. Okay. Well, I want to thank Susan Franklin because she was over all the volunteers. I mean, she spent hours and hours coordinating all that, and she was just absolutely wonderful. Dan's not here, is he? Dan Glenn, he's our, what is his title? Facility manager. I mean, he has helped so much and so supportive for me and for the summit, and I just really appreciate it. Al Mango, I know he's not here, but Al Mango also has done a tremendous amount to help this go smoothly. Sharon Hill, Sharon Sigler, Emily, where's Emily? Emily Ashcroft, she has done oh my God, I can't imagine how much work she's done. You can't imagine. Of course, our sound and video people, Araya Simmons and Ted Metz. And Zoe Schulman. I'm Zoe Halgo, sorry. Zoe, oh my gosh, I can't, and not only has she done a tremendous amount of work, but she's been just a tremendous support to me. And I couldn't have done this without her. And all of the chairs of all our committees, which I can't even name everyone, but Adrian and Luz, you have been you have done a lot of work too, and I appreciate that. Yes, I'm coming to her. Pixie, stay out of it. No, yeah, and Lynn Bodenstein, who has done She has done a lot, but mainly what she has done is being a personal support to me. I mean, she has let me cry on her shoulder. She's let me rant and rave. She's just been there for me, and thank you, Lynn. Oh yes, the biggest thing she did was make me laugh when I was ready to cry. She would remind me, now you remember what you teach people about laughing? Did you laugh today? So, so thank you, Lynn. Don Simon. Don Simon has done a tremendous amount to raise money, to support us, and all kinds of stuff. But the main, yeah. What? No. Okay, come on, hurry up. Thanks, Pixie. But the two main people that I want to thank are Reverend Richard Burdick and our Executive Director, Diane Glenn. So would you guys come up here for a minute? Huh? What? I'm going to cry too. But, I mean, these two people, this would not be happening in so many ways without these two people. They have donated this entire church for this entire weekend to the Global Humanitarian Summit. Not only that, but they have been so passionate about this summit and so supportive of the summit and so supportive of me personally. I mean, I don't know how I would have gotten through this without their help and support and everything that they have given us and me in so many ways. I can't even tell you how many ways. I'm going to start to cry. But I'd like to present the church with a plaque to commemorate what you've done and what we've done here today. And it says, the 2016 Global Humanitarian Summit, in honor and appreciation to Unity North Atlanta Church, being the leader of the faith-based humanitarian movement. Together we are changing the world for the better. I mean, I'm just hearing about some of the connections that people have made here. And I heard the most incredible story, one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard this morning. Susan, come up here. We had 3 people coming in from Nigeria, and there was somebody on their plane who was ill, and it delayed their flight. They had to get off. It was a whole. I mean, it's looking like, 2 days to finally get here, and they can only stay 1 day. They came from Nigeria, and they could only stay for 1 day because of this happening on the plane. And for some divine reason, I connected them with Susan. I was trying to get people from out of the country host homes, so people would host them, in their homes. And I don't know why, but I thought, well, these people from Nigeria will stay with Susan Flaherty because she had opened her home. And I had no idea at the time why, but this was definitely divinely orchestrated, as this entire summit has been divinely orchestrated. So I'm going to let Susan tell you what happened because it's such a miraculous thing. Just come up here. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. Is this okay? I don't want to blast everybody. Well, first of all, I just want to say that even if this event had not taken place that we're about to describe, I cannot tell you how much this has all meant to me. It has been everything I had hoped for and then beyond. You are all my family, and I love every one of you for the work you do. Something really wonderful took place, and it's going to give you, I think, an example of what we're going to be doing with this movement. These two women came to my home. I didn't get to meet them until last evening. We went home, and I could tell that this woman was very intelligent. She was highly accredited. She's a professor. And I thought, simple me. I only had 2 years of college, and, I hope we can kind of converse and get along. And so we sat together last night at dinner, and it was a little bit sad because they were barely going to make it for all that travel. They were barely going to be able to stay. So we chatted, and then they went to bed and got up this morning, and I was kind of thinking about them again and just staying as upbeat as possible and made them a nice breakfast. And we sat down to talk. And by now, we'd built a little rapport with each other. And I started to share with her, not knowing anything about what she did in Nigeria. I started to share with her my passion about Monsanto and how they have destroyed our food system and snuck it in under our behind our backs and have wreaked havoc with the younger people's health, in our country. And it's like the frog in the boiling water. It's just been happening over 25 years. So I began to share my passion with her about that. She was listening very closely. I could tell she listens with both ears and both eyes. She was taking it all in. And then at some point, something in me stirred and said, tell her that this corporation had changed their name to Syngenta in order to sneak into other countries unannounced. So I mentioned the word Syngenta to her. As soon as I did, her face sort of lit up for a moment. And she said, oh yes, I work with agricultural business. And she said, they've been giving us lots of free seeds and teaching us a new way to plant our seeds. It felt to me like the invasion of the body snatchers right at that moment. I just went, so I told her, I said, that is Monsanto. It took her half a second to make the connection. But here's the most exciting part. She owns or is in charge of a huge agricultural conglomerate affecting hundreds of farmers in Nigeria. She is now taking the information I have given her, and she is going right back to protect her country against this invader. And unbelievable what has happened. And I told her, be very careful, and she looked me in the eye and she said, I'm wise and I will know how to handle this. And so here we are. This is the kickoff for the Global Humanitarian Summit. This is what we are going to do. So thank you all for loving. And I say that Father, Mother, God is represented from love and action. Father God being action, Mother God being love. Unless the two blend together, we can't go forward. We have to take action. And thank you for your sermon this morning because it was about that. So thank you, everyone. God bless you.
And I'm sure over the next, what? Oh, you want to come up or? I was just to say, I'm sure over the next few months we will be hearing more stories like that we don't even know have happened.
Thank you, Debbie, for hard work, first of all. And you, lady, you gave an amazing story that they affect not just every person. And probably if you take it to the media, they're going to eat it alive. And also, I was going to talk about, I was hoping that Jimmy be over here. I know him from my previous experience I had with him. I was running for U.S. Senate back in 2014, and when Saxby was retiring. But Michelle came and beat me up, so that's the deal. Anyhow, today is the first day of spring. What does the spring does to the universe and earth is amazing. I am Persian. Some people, they call me damn Iranian. But that's okay. I've been here too long for being a damn Iranian. If I can run for the U.S. Senate, I'm more American than, at twice at my age, I've been over here, so getting education. And I hope everybody has a happy new year, because the earth is blooming, so the people, so everything else. And your thing is going to bloom pretty fast. Okay? I hope that everybody join, not just us in here, and because I was supposed to be here first day. I came, I brought a couple of volunteers. But when I left to take somebody home, my heart was going on, and I had to go to the hospital for my heart surgery, which they postponed until Monday. I couldn't come yesterday, though. I really appreciate everybody coming. I really appreciate you for what you do, okay? And I hope everybody have a happy new year. Go celebrate.
Thank you very much. Is Jack Sullivan, were you here? Come up, will you come up here a minute? When I heard about this organization, I just want him to come up for a minute, because when I heard about this organization, you know, we talk a lot at Unity North about forgiveness, and forgiveness is so important, and you know, sometimes it's hard to forgive someone that, especially someone that did something terrible to you or to your family. And Jack Sullivan's organization, I mean, I've known about it for a long time, and then when I contacted him, he said he would come, and it's just such an amazing thing what these people in this organization are all about, and I just want him to tell you just very, very briefly.
Thank you very much. I am the Executive Director of Murder Victims' Families for Reconciliation. We are a 40-year-old anti-death penalty organization. We are based on the stories of those who have lost loved ones to murder and execution, who say to the state, do not execute anyone in our names, not in our names. My baby sister was murdered 19 years ago in Cleveland, Ohio, my hometown, and we have no idea who killed her even now. But my family resolved, even then, as it does now, if that person had been apprehended or even is now, we would not want the death penalty for that person. So my organization attempts to arrive at solutions based on restorative justice and people being reconciled with each other. So we are an anti-death penalty organization based in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay, like Linda said, today is the International Day of Happiness and the spring equinox. So I feel like it's a sacred day, and it's a very special day. So we're going to celebrate all of that. The International Day of Happiness is all about joy, and I know Linda did a little bit of laughter. But I just want everybody, please, just take a deep breath in. Let it out. Take another deep breath in. And just let it out and laugh. And Zoe, is Megan here? Megan Shaw? Oh, come up here. Because we want to, Zoe and I want to show you a laugh that we created. The power laugh. Zoe, one day she said, Debbie, you know that, show it on the stand, the power laugh, I mean the power pose, the Wonder Woman power pose. You might have heard of it. And sometimes research has shown that if you just get into this pose, you, before an interview or before something stressful, you will do better, you will have more confidence, and you will feel more powerful, and it really works. So get into this power pose. And now, we created around that the power laugh. So we'll demonstrate, and then I want everybody to help do it with us. So it goes like this.
Everyone feel energized?
Also, I just wanted to mention, a couple weeks ago at our service here, Richard did something just like that, and I thought, I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that same thing, almost the same thing, and we had already created this, so I thought, oh my gosh, this is the universe. You know, this is the universe the way it works. But I know that a lot of people have come from very long distances, some from other countries, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. I know Henry is here from Brazil. I know we have several people from the Congo. Is anyone from the Congo here today? They might have left. I'm not sure. We have people for Dave. Dave, are you here? Dave Yablucky? Okay, well, he's not here. JD, is he here? Well, Dave came from Nova Scotia. But I just wanted to mention, just a minute. Okay, well, what other countries do we have people here from? Now, I know a lot of people have left. Iraq. Iran. Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody ran. I ran. Anybody else that come from another country? India. India. Oh, Noor. South Sudan. Okay. Yeah, Nigeria. Okay. Colombia. Florida. That's another country. Okay, anybody else here from another country? Okay. You look like you're going to jump out of your seat. Huh? Oh, I know. We could never close without Dr. Schulman saying a few words. Okay. I guess I'm finished, so you can come up. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, I forgot. Sadie, come up here. Of all the people I thanked, I forgot to thank the person that's done the most work and been the most treasure to me. Oh my God, I forgot to thank you. Sadie. What can I say about Sadie? Sadie, my right-hand lady. I mean, oh my gosh. This summit would absolutely not be happening without Sadie. I mean, she kept me organized. She kept me straight. She kept me, and when I was in a panic, she calmed me down. She is a master organizer. She's a master organizer, and I can't even tell you all that she did, but just know that this would not be happening without her, absolutely.
It wouldn't happen without everybody.
That's right.
Seriously, thank you.
So anyway, thank you. I also wanted to thank JD and Reggie Davis, who had helped a lot with the media and a lot of other things. Are they here? Oh, was JD here? Okay. Yeah, Eka, Eka, stand up a minute. Eka was in the chair for the exhibitors, so thank you, Eka. Oh, there's JD. JD, I was just thanking you for everything that you did with as far as the media and everything you did. And I've already told everybody that Monday I've already scheduled it in. I'm going to collapse. and JD has bought me a day at the spa Tuesday. So I thought I'm going to collapse Monday, and Tuesday we're going to the spa. So thank you for that, JD. Also, these beautiful T-shirts you're wearing were designed and created by Henry Jones. Is Henry here? Stand up, Henry. Stand up, Henry. And he's also been out in the lobby all 3 days selling the T-shirts. So, and if anybody would like to buy a T-shirt, there are how much? $15? They're $15. And the money, all the money goes to the Global Humanitarian Summit. So thank you, Henry. And, Archana, since you're up anyway, come on up. Archana Patel is what's your title? Huh? An avatar master, and she's going to do a short compassion exercise with us.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I wanted to do a compassion exercise. If you have been downstairs by my booth, you've probably experienced it, but I think it's something that would be great for everyone. Compassion starts with us, and then we extend it out to people that we love. So the exercise only takes a couple minutes. Think of somebody in your life that you would like to extend compassion to, and you feel needs compassion from you. So with attention on this person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is seeking some happiness for his or her life. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is trying to avoid suffering in his or her life. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is seeking to fulfill his or her needs. With attention on the person, repeat to yourself, just like me, this person is learning about life. And I wanted to share with you the mission of Avatar. The mission of Avatar in the world is to catalyze the integration of belief systems. When we perceive that the only difference between us is our beliefs, and that beliefs can be created or discreated with ease, the right and wrong game will wind down, a co-create game will unfold, and world peace will ensue. And our project is to increase the amount of compassion in the world. Thank you for this opportunity. Debbie?
Did Dave ever come back in the room? Dave, you're lucky. He's okay. Dave, I just wanted to mention that Dave is doing our Humanitarians Unite website, which we'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Dave. Okay, now I'd like to call up the founder and creator of the Global Humanitarian Summit, Dr. Neil Schulman. I told him before we started that I was going to tape his mouth shut if he talked too long.
Yeah.
But he was
Debbie's
very
just-
well behaved yesterday.
Yeah, we were supposed to split the time, and let's see, she used up all my time. Debbie has done the thanking, and that's extremely important. The next step, in my opinion, is to make sure that this continues. And what this church graciously did one day is look back on and remembered the same way as other movements have started, like Martin Luther King's movement, like Gandhi's movement. And if every house of prayer has one of these, we'll live in a completely different world. So how does that start? Somebody already has heard from somebody from Germany. Who heard from somebody from Germany? Tell them what happened. This is somebody who had no idea what was happening.
Someone wrote to me on Facebook. They had seen a link with my name in it for the live feed from yesterday, and they watched it. And they just wrote to congratulate me, and they asked me what was going on. So we had a conversation this morning, and then they asked, how can we start that here?
The pastor at Ebenezer Church I spoke to recently at an event in Emory, he was excited, and that's the church that Naomi King goes to. So I hope...
Is Emil here, Badabanga? Okay, well, I think I told you this. Emil Badabanga, who lives in Maryland. He's already told me that he wants to have a Global Humanitarian Summit next year. He's already got the place and everything. So we're going to have one in D.C. next year also.
Now, I think that a few other things, and you all might have ideas starting tonight, is anybody who wants to write a book about this and publish it, anybody can do it from your angle. And then Sharon, yeah, it goes global. So if there are 5 books on it, that's good. If there are 10 books on it, that's good. If they talk about strategies, just their personal experience, anything like that could go wild. As far as this church here, I don't know whether it would be possible to have another one here next year.
We will talk about it later. Don't make any announcements.
What did it take, about 10, 15 minutes of your staff's time? That's right. Call up Naomi on her cell phone. No, seriously, the church obviously has been incredibly gracious, and their resources, time, and personnel has been wonderful. I hope that there will be regular meetings that anybody can come to, that Debbie will be leading. There already are some people who talk to me of wanting to take these videos and stream them so people can just go to and watch a lot of the stuff that's happening. And we might not even know they're doing it, and they start doing it and saying, well, that's a good idea, let's try it. And one other thing is, if we did have a staff of people, such as Debbie, who could actually get a salary for running I don't want to send, but I really do feel as though a staff of people. Now, Bill Gates isn't around, but if Bill Gates gave just a small amount of money for this, it could have a bigger impact than anything, because he doesn't have to pay every church to have one of these. It's just a staff to educate people on how you start from scratch and get to this point. And that would be great. There is a documentary that my wife Zoe put together when we had it at Emory that anybody can see on YouTube. Miles said that he would get some of the kids he knows to take this wild with your group, right? Yeah. Yes, and here's a quick comment from somebody who knows nothing about raising money.
Okay. So we had an organizational meeting about a month ago, and I stood up and said, I want to hold an intention that we're going to raise $1 million. And I said, well, you would join me in that intention. And everybody said yes. And was anybody else there at that meeting? And you can testify that this is true. Less than 10 minutes later, the guy sitting next to me said, I have somebody that wants to give $250,000. But we have to have a 501c3 set up, which costs, it's not much, $600, but we still need to raise the $600. And then this person will probably write a check for $250,000. So that's a start.
Also,
he said a good thing. He was asking about Bill Gates to do it. I don't think Bill Gates is a proper person to do it anyway. What we can do, go grassroots. You see, people, even money cannot beat everything. People can beat. Is that true? So therefore, if we expanded through the people, financially, if somebody give me, like Bernie Sanders, look at him. I mean, he's making a lot of money for campaign. He didn't have any money. But we don't want to be Bernie Sanders. If everybody just give $5, but we reach 1 billion people, right? It's $5 billion. So Bill Gates cannot beat us. But here's a good idea. I mean, everybody can write a check, no matter what. But we don't want to be bought.
you're right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be careful who we're dealing with. That's why I'm in the politics, okay? Because I would like for us, for everybody has a, email. Everybody has a iPhone now. Just through the web page, send them a $2, $5, $3, no more than $10. Everybody can afford it. 10 billion, no, we don't have but 7.4 billion. 10 billion can help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I think a website where you have these types of summits going on the internet, people interested in food, shelter, healthcare, peace, from all over the world can contribute over the internet. And it doesn't even have to be at a facility. That's another way of connecting. Betty White. Any suggestions you have, please let Debbie know. Please feel free to contact anybody you like. I know the Reverend here at this church has offered to sell the church. No, Debbie will rent it back to you. That's right. And of course, the wonderful administrative leadership of the church has done fantastic. But I think also we shouldn't forget, as this is all being promoted, to highlight the fact that this church opened its doors because there are a lot of other people who might want to join this church because of what they're all about. And if you generate a lot of money, you might give some back to the church. But seriously, the strategy for putting on one of these summits is in any church, you can find a group of people who will be a team that will work voluntarily, and they're people who do humanitarian things themselves, share what they do, and then over time, that group of people not only learns about what each other are doing as humanitarians and becomes friends, but they all volunteer and help with the strategy. So it doesn't cost a lot of money for an institution to do it if they, demonstrate it, and they don't have to go out and raise money to put one on. They just need a group of strong volunteers. But the staff of people to tell that story of how that whole process works, so that places don't say, well, we haven't raised money, so we can't put it on. They have to understand the mechanism that it goes through. And from that, in that context, I did want to say that books, videos, people just discussing it on the internet where somebody can learn about it could be very, very valuable. And that would be really exciting if this became a movement. And the other point we really want to emphasize is that this is a movement that was led by women. And Jimmy Carter wrote a book about women. He would be very proud that that's how this evolves, is from women, and it would address another major issue on the planet by having women be the leaders of the Humanitarian Summit. Now, they might let some men like Miles get involved, but that's another vehicle. And I don't know if you have a meeting planned for any setup. April 3rd. Where's that going to be? Oh, April 3rd. Okay, no room yet. Okay, so what time is it going to be? 1 o'clock, April 3rd. 1:30, April 3rd. So as I said, it's fun to be manic. Again, Martin Luther King had a movement. This was inspired really by Naomi King because she spoke right here about a year ago. And that if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened. And I just think that we want to make the world a better place. So Miles, would you come up here, please, just for a minute? And would you please tell everybody that your generation would appreciate it and really loves everybody, your generation, for making your generation a happier generation with no wars and no fightings and no discrimination, and just everybody helping everybody have a beautiful dash of life. Would you agree?
Yes.
So would you please tell them that you love them all?
I love you all.
Thank you. And Zoe, are you here? Oh, there she is. Zoe's the one who stands in the background but deserves a tremendous amount of credit. The only last thing I want to say, Zoe, yeah, sure.
This is wonderful news. I wanted to introduce you guys to Doc Jagan. Doc Jagan, please come up here. He's got wonderful news from India.
Oh.
Doc Jagan, please.
I'm very honored and humble. I met Dr. Neil about 2 weeks back at the Rotary, and I'm impressed, not to say to flatter you, but sincerely. And I connected with people in India, including Prime Minister's office and the Indian Institute of Technology, which is like your MIT. And they agreed to do some things if these people show everything what you do live. So I contacted a gentleman who has taken live streaming. I'm going to take that and bring it to them. I called your wife and left her a detailed voice mail. I was driving. I couldn't fax or send it to you. So this is the one. This one.
Good news?
And this is all for you. My research notes to you.
Wow. That is wonderful. From India. So it goes back to the Gandhi days. So we've got Martin Luther King in India from the Gandhi days coming back. Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say was that this is just a private thing between you and me about Zoe. Since I'm 71, she's 41, and Miles is 9. She deserves credit for one other thing. Just don't tell anybody. Miles is out of diapers, and I'm into diapers. She's always going to live a life taking care of somebody in diapers. Thank you, Zoe.
Well, everybody here that volunteered in any way to put this summit on, please stand up. Please give them a great big hand. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. We appreciate everything you did and all the time and all the love that you put into this. I really mean that with all my heart. And there were a lot more people actually that volunteered who aren't here today. And you know, when we did, well, I wasn't sure we'd have enough volunteers, and we had an abundance of volunteers. And people from this church, as always, as they always do, really stepped up at the last minute. So I really appreciate that. Is anybody who was one of our speakers and that's here, please stand up. Thank you so much. You really made this summit so important because we needed to know what the things you're doing in the world and the things that you're sharing. And we only had 100 speakers this year. So this is just a few of them. And they talked about some really compelling things. I heard a few of them, and I was really, really, really inspired and moved by all the speeches. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Try not to cry. I just want to read a paper that was written by a young person from this community. It's called Inspire. You can do anything if you believe, and I believe in you. I know you can fly, soar. I know you have the power to create dreams. I know you can do anything. Remember, we are all have a chance to blossom, and if we choose to take that chance, then it creates a beautiful thing. You, me, and everyone has a chance to blossom. We all have a purpose in this world. My purpose is to make you smile. MLK's purpose was to, lost the paper. Don't do it. Sorry. Sorry about that. MLK's purpose was to free the African Americans. Frederick Douglass' purpose was to stop slavery. What is your purpose? Just keep believing, and you will find your purpose. Just keep dreaming, and you will blossom. Just keep trying, and you can do anything. All of these things may just seem like advice, but is a part of us all.
Thank you.
Author is right there. Maybe author.
Oh, the author, please stand up. Thank you so much. And how old are you? How old? 9? 9 years old, and she already wrote something so beautiful. Thank you. What is your name? Huh? Oh, thank you very much. You know, we had a youth summit going on. We had a youth summit going on Saturday, all day Saturday at another church right down the street. How many people, if anybody go to that youth summit? Oh, Don, you went? Okay, well, I just happened to go over there for a very short time. And, I mean, it was just amazing to see these young people who are really so passionate about doing things to help the world and make the world a better place. And it really blew me away. So there was a couple kids that were speaking who started an organization to help endangered species of animals, and they started this organization when they were 7 and 8 years old. They're now older, but I mean, it was just to see these kids that are really, I think this generation really cares more than we did. I know when I was that age, I wasn't even thinking about, I mean, it never entered my mind to, you know, oh, we should do this to save the world. But they're very aware of that more now than ever, and it was just very inspiring to see these kids that really are really passionate about this. So we are making a difference in our children's lives, and they're making a difference in our lives. So I really want to commend and honor all the youth that participate in the Youth Summit, even though they're not here. And also our two co-chairs for the Youth Summit, Nitish and Aditya Sood, who did a fantastic job, and they're not here, but in absentia, I'd like to give them a big hand. Okay, what? Okay, so I will end my portion by doing what I've done a couple times already, so repeat after me. I am amazing. You are amazing. We are amazing. And I am a global humanitarian. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to lead this amazing weekend and this amazing summit and meeting all of you amazing people. Thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Schulman. Where is he? Thank you, Dr. Schulman, for giving me the opportunity. He's not even listening. For giving me the opportunity to do this. I mean, at first I thought, oh my God, I didn't know what I was getting into, but and like I said the other night, it's been the most challenging thing I've ever done, the most hardest thing I've ever done, but also the most rewarding and the most amazing. And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this.
All right, so we are going to close our summit. As you can see on all these papers have covered up my notes, but that's okay. So we're going to give our attention now to Mike Marinelli. All of you have seen him perform throughout this weekend. It's been absolutely incredible, phenomenal. All the different instruments and sounds and just, so he's going to be part of the closing with doing the Native American flute. So let's give our attention to Mike Marinelli.
Tanuti, Wakiata, Hononkato. Many blessings. And we've got a little feedback. It's his mic. Thank you, brothers and sisters, and everyone involved in the Global Humanitarian Summit who stayed for closing. Now we'll get the important, serious questions out of the way. First of all, yes, I am standing up. Second, the rumors are true. I am the link between hobbits and humans. You can see the feet later. And third and most importantly, yes, my third eye is marked by a permanent bindi given to me by Great Spirit. No, I didn't do that myself. That would have been the ultimate joke, being born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania as a Heinz 57 ethnically in a Catholic hospital. It's real. Apparently, Spirit never wanted me to forget that when these two eyes are closed, this eye is always open. So now that we have laughed, I am Stephanie Crowhawk. I am Native American, Scottish, Irish, French, Greek, and ancestry from the African countries of Morocco and Ghana. In Pittsburgh, that's a Heinz 57. My background is my grandmother, who goes all the way back to Puerto Rico, is a Taino. The calendar that you will see today, that you can look at the close of ceremony, is in fact the Maya calendar, which is the same calendar the Arawakan Taino used. This is a perpetual calendar made by my brother from another mother, the Gavsage of the Canadian Indian Spiritual Circle, who spent decades doing this study. So you can look at that at your leisure. My mother and my grandmother on my mother's side, my mother who passed away recently, are Zedagi from this region, Deer Clan. My paternal great-grandfather was Catawba Sioux from this region. And all that comes together to make up who I am today. Everything we have ever been and everything we will ever be is available in this moment, right now. Now, you might have noticed that the rug is not traditional Native. No, it's not, it's Irish. It's actually my daughter's rug, Aria Isabel. Yes, the queen of the tech. This was the rug I had made for her when she was born. Oh, by the way, she told us when she was going to be born. She did. 2 weeks pregnant in a dream, she says, "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm Araya Isabel. You can call me whatever you like, but I prefer Araya Isabel. I'm named after 2 grandmothers on each side, so that should be perfect. I'll be born the new moon of April. See you soon. Love you." I woke up and told Robert I had a dream. And I told him the dream. He said, "We need to go get an 18-month calendar." And we circled the new moon of April, April 5th, and she was born on April 5th. Again, I guess I needed to know that. We needed warning. But that blanket says friendship, loyalty, and love. That's the blanket of the Clada. It's a really cool story. It doesn't start off well. Some Spanish pirates had invaded the island of Clada, and they usually took men. Good things did not happen. A woman who was to marry that week lost her fiance in the raid. But she never gave up. She lit a candle every night in the east window and said, I know you're there, you'll come back to me. As it turned out, her guy was a jewelry maker. And he was taken back to Spain because he had these wonderful small fingers that were great for intricate work. The king was very impressed with his work. He started saving gold to make the ring for his one true beloved. Of course, somebody found out about it. And they took him before the king, and the king said, this is magnificent. I would like to give this to my queen for her birthday present. And he said, well, then I guess you'll be through with me, because this ring is for my one true love. And she's back on Claudia. And he said, well, what do the symbols mean? The crown, sir, is for loyalty. The heart is for love. The hands are for friendship. Well, the king said, if that is your true quest, I cannot discipline you any further for being a man of love. And he let him go. That was 7 years later. And he returned to the Isle of Claudia. And he married his one true love with the ring that he made for her. I have always thought of that story as a symbolic quest. And I know Reverend Richard touched on this morning, of unconditional love with action. We are not divided. We are unified. Our divisions are an illusion. We were never divided. We are one. When we say we are humanitarian, in Native tradition, that's a funny word. Most of our tribal names reduce to the word, the people. Zalagi means the people. Dine means the people. So when we say we're humanitarians, to Native people, that says two-legged, four-legged, those that fly, swim, crawl, and muddle. Because those are the people. We are all one people. We don't discriminate. The fish, he's sacred. The bull is sacred. The bee is sacred. All one people. Loyalty. We are loyal to all the people if you're a humanitarian. Love. We love each one unconditionally. That doesn't mean that if somebody gets out of line, we don't let them know. We tell them with love. But it's still love. And friendship. Friendship, in its truest nature, is remembering that each one of us is a part of each one of us. That we are not separate. We are one. All one family. The 4 directions are marked. South is for rebirth and renewal. A very good day for the equinox. Honoring the rebirth of nature, the reblooming. The native tradition, it is the time of birth of the male energy, the life force energy. The women get equinoxes, the guys get the solstices. All in balance. So the mother, Atabe, gives birth. Red's a good color for the South. 28 stones, that represents the cycle of woman. And that's all the detail I'll get into because we have a couple 9-year-olds in the room. You can figure that out. The West, the color is black, it is introspection. It is looking within. It is prayer. It is the need to sometimes pull back and away, to focus on the self. That is not considered selfish. It's considered self-full. The North is white. That represents wisdom, joy, and trials. And if you have ever been a parent, you know exactly what that is. Even if you're a pet parent. The North is white. It represents the hurricane, a snowstorm, great challenge. But through that challenge, great wisdom is brought. The East is illumination. Illumination, the eagle, the hawk, the condor. It's where enlightenment happens. But we don't want to stay in any one of those places too long. We want to stay at the crossroads between our earth walk, south to north, and our spirit journey, west to east. Because that is where we garner our greatest wisdom. You stay in the east too long, you're up on the mountain listening to the wind, but you're not sharing with others. You stay in the cave too long, you are not activist. The key is to walk in balance. We were going to drum a quick song, and then we were going to do Let There Be Peace on Earth. Yes? Which one are we doing? Lift every voice and sing. Sorry. Lift every voice and sing. As our closing. This song is a song in Taino. This is the rhythm women have within them, the rhythm of the universe. Warishe. Goakiekaba. Ariyetukwa today. It's the celebration of the birth. And as we know, when you have birth and breath, you have death. And that cycle is sacred. It's a cycle we honor. Thank you. You did it. With the light of God, the Great Spirit, guiding you on your breath and on your walk. You inhale spirit, you exhale earth. Every breath you take is sacred. May that light and love and spirit of peace, loyalty, and friendship walk with you. Aho.
Stephanie, and Stephanie is Araya Simmons' mother, so I thank you so much. That was beautiful. We have someone here who I had wanted to speak last night. and they're getting ready to go back. She's here from the Congo, and she's getting ready to go back to the Congo. One of the speeches I heard yesterday was her speaking, and I was crying so hard, and it was just such an emotional thing. And I said she's here right now, and she's getting ready to leave. So I did want to give her the opportunity to speak for a short time. So I hope you guys don't mind. I know we're going over the time, but I think what she has to say is very, very important, because there's something going on in Congo that's just a real atrocity, and we need to look at that. So, Emil?
Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Dr. Emile Badibanga, and I'm the executive director for the NGO Espoir International. That's an NGO that is incorporated in the state of Maryland, but most of our work, we do it in the Congo. So we work on human rights. We support women victims of rape and abuse. We do education and health care also. For today, I have with me Mrs. Amani Bangue Beatrice. She works for the NGO in the eastern part of the Congo, in Bukavu. She came here to tell you something about what is going on in the eastern part of the Congo. She is a victim of rape, but she will not say about her own experience because it's going to be too emotional for her. But there were soldiers who get to the house in Bukavu a few years ago. They raped her and I think 6 or 7 of her sisters, and they were about to kill her and her sisters, but the mom begged these people to take money and not kill them. So they end up, giving the soldiers $25,000 so that even though they raped them, so that they could not kill them. But today, what she's gonna say, which is less emotional for her to speak, that will be the experience that happened to one of her cousins. So she speaks French, so she'll be saying something, and I'm going to be here to interpret for her in English. Tu peux commencer. Je venais de leur dire que tu viens de Bukavu, à l'est du Congo. Tu es arrivé avant-hier et que tu vas parler de ce qui se passe à l'est du Congo. Toi-même, tu es victime de viol, mais c'est un peu très émotionnel. Tu ne sauras pas parler de ton expérience propre, mais tu vas parler de ce qui est arrivé à ta cousine, et c'est peut-être le témoignage que tu vas leur donner aujourd'hui.
Bonjour.
Good afternoon.
Je m'appelle Amani Bagwe Beatrice.
My name is Amani Bagwe Beatrice.
Je viens au Congo, à l'est du pays.
I live in the Congo, in the eastern part of the Congo.
Comme vous savez tous, concernant les viols qui se passent là-bas au Congo.
As you know about the rape that is going on in the eastern part of the Congo.
Beaucoup de femmes souffrent et vraiment il y a beaucoup de victimes.
Many women are suffering and there is a lot of victims.
Moi-même, je suis une victime.
Myself, I'm a victim.
Mais je ne saurais pas vous parler de mon histoire.
I cannot talk to you about my own history because I just want to keep quiet.
Ça peut m'aider vraiment à aller mieux.
When I keep talking of it, it's going to help me to feel a little bit well.
Néanmoins, dans l'Espoir International, là où je travaille,
but in Espoir International, where I work,
il y a beaucoup de femmes qui viennent, victimes, qui sont violées.
There is a lot of women who came, they are victims of rape.
Et je vais vous raconter une histoire de ma cousine.
I'm going to talk to you the history of my cousin.
C'est une fille, elle était fille unique dans leur maison.
She was the only girl in the house.
C'était un soir où les soldats sont entrés dans sa maison.
It was the evening when soldiers came to the house.
Ils sont arrivés là-bas, ils ont demandé à son père de dormir avec elle.
They asked the father to sleep with the girl, the daughter,
Et puis on a demandé à son frère de faire la même chose.
and they asked the brother to sleep with the sister.
Et après on a demandé les petits frères de dormir avec sa mère.
They asked his brother to sleep with the mom.
Vraiment, toute leur famille était détruite.
And all the family was destroyed.
Et après, les 8 soldats qui sont entrés dans la maison ont violé la mère et la fille.
And the 8 soldiers that came in the house raped the mom and the daughter.
Vraiment, c'était difficile pour la fille, comme c'est ma cousine.
It was so hard for the girl since she's my cousin.
On a tué son père et son frère était parti. On ne sait pas où.
The dad who was trying to resist was killed, and the brother has the opportunity to run away.
Nous, on a récupéré la fille.
We brought the girl to our house.
Mais jusque-là, je vous dis, la fille, vraiment, elle est troublée.
Since up to date, she's not on herself yet. She still has some psychological problems.
On l'aide les miens qu'on peut, mais ça ne va pas.
We try to do our best to help her, but it still not does work.
Il y a de nombreuses filles violées au Congo.
There is a lot of girls that has been raped in the Congo.
Mais beaucoup ne veulent pas parler de leur histoire.
Many of them doesn't want to come out and talk about their story.
Elles se comportent comme moi en se disant, garder le silence, peut-être ça va aller mieux.
Some of them keep quiet like me because they feel like by not talking about it, they will feel much better.
C'est pourquoi l'Espoir international
That's why Espoir International
aide toutes les femmes qui se sentent vraiment bien pour communiquer avec les gens.
Encourage women who are victims of rape to come out and then talk about what happened to them.
De les aider, de parler, les amener à l'hôpital si c'est nécessaire, chercher des avocats.
So what we do is let them talk and give them psychological support, and if they need medical need, we give them medical need, and we try to find who is responsible to take them to justice. So that's what I have to say for today.
So much, Amani, and Amani came all the way from the Congo to share the story, and I just, I mean, it was so traumatic for me just to hear it, so I can imagine what it's been like for her to tell her story, but it took a lot of courage, and I thank her so much. I just feel like it's so important that we hear people's stories because, you know, we hear about all these things. I mean, I hear, you know, I knew what was going on in the Congo, but it's like, okay, that's horrible. But when you hear somebody tell their personal story, like Amani just did, it has a whole different impact. So I think it's important that we hear people's stories. So I just want, there's one person that I forgot to mention, I can't believe I forgot to mention him, Lee Griffin, RMC. And I'm sure you'll all agree, did a fantastic job, and I want to acknowledge him. Sharon Hill, who has done a lot of our media, and has been a tremendous help. She's done a lot to make the summit happen.
Blessings to everyone. Well, no, you made it happen because you are here and you were a part. I just wanted to make sure that as we leave, we have been captured, but we need to capture the time, the moment. It is now, and our time has come. So for you that have your smartphones or the tablets, let everybody know what we do here. We are Global Humanitarians. And what have we done this weekend? Wow, humanitarians have united. So, hashtag, you're putting it out, Global Humanitarian Summit Facebook page, hashtag, we need to trend that I am a global humanitarian, and humanitarians unite. But for the next step, what we also have to do, hey, hashtag Unity North is the place. Thank you, Pastor Richard. And see, I'm going to, we've been talking, right? But I'm going to let you know, and this means putting him on blast, that he's supposed to give a charge to other faith leaders. You be next. We already have from Greensboro to, where was it? Germany, and then India, okay? All points in between, let us. This is a we thing. You, me, all of us. This is how we get it done. And we thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Oh, I had to say that. Dr. Neal, blessings. Now, we are actually finished. However, I'm sorry. If there isn't a picture, it didn't happen. Okay? So we have to have a group picture. Yes, that is with everyone in here. And the vision boards. I thank everyone who took the opportunity to write on them. We were looking for you to share what your humanitarian vision is, and let us strive for it. So we have 3 that we have here, and you can still do it as you leave if you didn't get an opportunity. We have pins, but we want to hold them up. And also remember that Humanitarians Unite is forming, and we need to hear from you wherever you are. So that's it. Let us share the vision, and since it's been written, let's make it plain, and let's get to action. Thank you.